First of all, I would like to tell you that your micros are going to be muted till the end, and then you will be able to ask any question related to any of the topics we are talking about today in the end of the presentation. So don't worry about having that time, because you will have some time for those questions. Okay. So my name is Oscar Escallada. I'm from Mondragon University, and I'm part also of the EARASHI project. And first of all, let's talk about the agenda. Okay, first I will tell you a little bit more about Mondragon University and the EARASHI project, and then we will go straight forward to the mixed reality topic. Okay, we have some change of the paradigm in the industry, some uses of mixed reality manufacturing, and then go forward to the user experience in mixed reality and so on. Okay. So regarding Mondragon University, we have to tell you that it's a cooperative university, part of the group of Mondragon, which is the first industrial group in the Basque Country and the seventh in Spain, which is made of around 260 cooperatives and like 74,000 people, a very big one. And regarding the universities, we are made or for four faculties: the humanities and education one, the business studies, the gastronomic sciences, and of course the engineering one, which I am come from. We are very extended in the Basque Country, as we have like 10 campuses, and each one with its experience and different degrees and master's degrees. Also, we have different research centers in there and so on. So from my side, I'm part from the Design Innovation Center, which is called in Basque Diseño Berrikuntza Centro. And in this center, or in this department, we are very focused in human-centered design. Everything which is related with human-centered design, we work on there in my department. We have like product and service design, interaction design, experience design, and other topics such as sustainability or inclusive design also. Okay. And then communication, of course. We work very closely with industrial companies, but not only are industrial ones with who we are working with. Okay. And some things, for example, or some pictures of our projects we do are these ones. For example, we use different elements to understand people, like observations and very human to human ones, but also technology, to try to understand what are their behaviors, or why do they do some things, in some relationships with some products, services, and also human robot interaction or product usability, or when interacting with different interfaces, mobile or screen ones, or even virtual reality ones. We have the eye tracking system and EEG, EMG, different tools to try to assess these experiences and try to measure this impact. Okay. And then the EARASHI topic, I'm not sure if you attended the previous webinars, but shortly, EARASHI means Embodied AR Robotics Applications for a Safe Human-Oriented Industry. And whoops, what happened here? Sorry. It's a mistake. Little bit of what is EARASHI? No, it's a project, or EARASHI's objective is to demonstrate the added value of human-centric AI. I mean, there are a lot of technologies that they are emerging these days, and we have to always focus in the human-centric. So in this sense, the EARASHI is aiming to demonstrate how these technologies could enable or could help these workers, operators, or humans, to improve working conditions in the terms of safety, security, and more other topics. Okay, in this case, we are funding like 10 projects, or well, there will be, yes, 10 projects funded. In this open call, there will be five, and then in the second call there will be another five, and these are the funds to they are going to be for these projects. In the EARASHI consortium, we are different universities, RTOs, and companies that give support to these projects. And as you see, we are very mixed. We are from Germany, Belgium, Spain, France, and Portugal as well. Okay. So this was a very short introduction about the EARASHI project and also Mondragon University, but we are going now to focus on the topic of today, which was enhancing mixed reality with effective user experience. But before we start, I would like to ask you a question and think about it. And it was like, what do these elements have in common? No, we have here a machine, mobile phone, and ATM, cash withdrawal, and what? Sorry, and a kettle. Maybe the first three could be familiar, or we could find some similarities between them, but maybe the fourth one could be a very bit different. But after all of them are used by people. So this is a very important thing to take into account. And when designing several experiences, products, services, maybe the last three, the mobile phone, the withdrawal machine, and the kettle, are very obvious, as they are like people that are going to buy that product, the people who are using them, and all of the marketing stuff. But also machines in the manufacturing industry are used by people, not by operators. And one of the most important things is to focus or try to understand also these workers in order to improve those numbers from the industry, such as cost reduction, time reduction, or even the improvement of manufacturing. No? So in this case, we are going to be focused in the mixed reality experiences, but it can be applied to any machine or any process where humans are part of it. And related to this, I would like to show you shortly that there is a change of paradigm in the manufacturing industry. And I'm not sure if you are familiar already with the Industry 5.0, but it's a change we are facing right now. And the focus is from the technocentric limitations to the human-centered perspective of the industry, no? Where we see the operator in a different way that we are watching it right now in the Industry 4.0. In the Industry 4.0, we are focused on optimizing process and mass customization, smart products, and manpower is distanced from factories, whereas in the Industry 5.0, we try to use that abilities or those strong capabilities of the operator to make like a fusion between machines, processes, and also the manpower. So we have like a change of roles. We have the machines that they have like a automation of repetitive tasks. They can help us to do risky things without putting in risk to the operators. We have like flexibility and adaptability of these machines. And then on the other hand, we have the operators that are more dedicated for supervision and control, data analysis, and decision making, which are collected by these machines, those smart machines. Okay, and this is the change of the paradigm. But we have to also think about these operators and how to optimize also their behaviors or their situations in the factories. In this Industry 5.0, sorry, we have Also, different technology enables, you may have heard about industrial blockchain, drones, exoskeletons, and obviously mixed reality. That is the topic of today. To understand or to put like different names to these experiences. I know that maybe mixed reality, extended reality, augmented reality, virtual reality, we have there are a lot of realities, and a little bit for making a standard. I will call in this presentation mixed reality to all of the realities, which is our part, augmented reality, virtual reality, and those who are in the middle. The augmented reality, when we put digital elements in the reality, and virtual reality when we are in a virtual environment with virtual elements too. Okay, so first I would like to show you different uses in mixed reality that, as you see, some of them are related to assembly or quality assurance, logistics. We have different uses. This one is more related to, well, this is an augmented reality, and it's very focused on maintenance of machines, where we could put different elements, documents, or whatever to fix this machine or make the maintenance, showing the operator what to do or what to check in this case. Okay. Then we have this one that helps the operator. Sorry. It will be like a pick to light, or how it's like orienting the operator and showing what elements should he take for some delivery system or some factory when he has to take a lot of packages. Even the smart glasses scan the QR or the barcode, and then everything goes to the big data, and all of the information is shared through the factory. Okay. Also some assistance if they have to check everything as the previous one. And the last example is focused on virtual reality, and is like a training experience where the operator could be or could get some experience in a virtual simulator where he could understand or know all of the places inside that factory that could be just the same as the real one. He could understand also the machines, how do they work, or even try or use different virtual tools and practice, no, to understand all of the graphics or whatever. So regarding the user experience in mixed reality, maybe some of you have tried this kind of elements or AR glasses or VR glasses, and have experienced this kind of problems, no? The motion sickness, maybe you see some blurry images, or you have some delay in the response, or even they give you some controls and you don't really know how to use them, or there are a lot of functions that you don't understand how to do them due to the lack of knowledge, due to the ununderstanding the controllers, and also the problems with the cables. There are some problems related strictly with the technology, but the most the mostly normally the relationship is, or I mean, the problem is related to the UX, because it's not well optimized. We sometimes think that think that it's our fault, or we get sick, motion sick, really quick, but maybe it's because the experience is not well optimized, and the experience is not well developed. So in this webinar, what I would like to do is to give you some assessment or some tips in order to you take into account when you finish this webinar, and learn a bit how to optimize or how to improve this kind of terms. Okay. So to begin with, the user experience stand in simple terms refers to the overall experience that a user has while interacting with a product or service. In this case, it will be the mixed reality. No, so in there we have different terms that we should take into account. In this case, we have like the UX wheel that there are 7 terms that today we are going to focus in each one. The first one is useful, usable, findable, credible, desirable, accessible, and valuable. And how these terms affect in the mixed reality. No, so let's go one by one and understand what things we should take into account in each one to improve our experience. So first of all, we have the usability. The usability refers to how easy and efficient it is for users to interact with a product, or in this case, the experience we are or the solution we are creating in mixed reality. And there we have like different factors. For example, when you first of all got into the experience, for example, in virtual reality, the movement of yourself through the virtual environment is very different from the reality. So we have to understand first of all how to move, how to do the interaction in this virtual environment. So the easiest it is for the operators or the users to do this or to understand how to do this is much more natural for them and easier for them to adapt this technology and to really do the task we want to do in the virtual environment. No, this is the example in the picture is the teleportation, that sometimes you use some joysticks, sometimes you use your hands to move, but there are like a lot of different ways to move through the virtual environment. The one in the picture is one, but then you can you can go like sliding, or it is called linear movement or smooth, or sometimes you could grab and move yourself, no, like grabbing the space. So this is very important for them to explain in a way how this system or this experience work, no, in order to make them comfortable and so on. We have also to take into account if the experience is going to be taken in a seat place, or they are going to be stand up and they can move through the experience, or through the room they are on it. And then also the object interaction. We, as a person in real life, we have very natural interactions. Like I can grab a thing, and this grabbing action is very natural for me, but there are another ones that they only can be done in a virtual environment, such as teleportation. So we have to teach or show in a very natural way to people what kind of abilities do they have in those environments. Also, it happens the same with augmented reality in slightly different way, as we when we move physically, we are moving also in the augmented reality world. But we have to take these topics into account. Then we have the findability. This is referred to how easy it is for users to find or locate the information, not only the tasks they have to do, but also all of the information that we show to them. This example in this picture is one from cars. I assume that the user in this car wears augmented reality glasses, and he receives this kind of information. And it's good because he still is able to watch the environment. Imagine that this person is in a factory and in a risky environment, and maybe you have some information, or you are overwhelmed with a lot of information. This could be very dangerous for them, because he or she even cannot see the danger, the physical danger, what is happening in front of his or her eyes. So we have to be very careful to understand which is the field of view of this person, and what kind of information could we provide, and in which part. Because it has no sense maybe to put a danger alert here in front of his or her eyes that occupies all of the screen, because it's maybe worse than not showing the alert. So these kind of factors are really, really important to take into account, and we have to be very careful. No, we have to think what information it is important in each moment for the operators, and how should we show to them. Okay, then we have the findability. No, sorry, it's a problem. Yeah, the credibility. And here it's related especially with the reliability, or the sensation that you have that you are inside that experience. This is more related maybe with virtual reality, because when you are in virtual world, you can reach the point that you think that the virtual body is already yours, and that is called embodiment. And you can also have the sensation that the telepresence is called, and you can have the sensation that you are already in that virtual environment, no, as it was real. And this credibility, it can be related nowadays with high quality environments, like we are always looking for 4K or 8K resolutions, but it doesn't have to be completely or directly related to the high definition. And sometimes a low poly experience, which is more optimized and more fluent due to the low poly graphics, could be more credible than a high quality one, because there we have like we see different objects that they look very realistic, but they are not realistic at all, and maybe it could cause the contrary sensation, no. But for working on credibility, we could also use some haptics or audio or voice feedback, which could enhance this kind of credibility. Here we have an example from company from the Basque Country, which is called Ludus, that they opted to use a real fire extinguisher and put here the controllers to also, when doing some simulations about fire extinguishing, or when learning how to extinguish a fire, to feel also the weight of the elements, and make it more realistic. So there are several options to make this experience more credible, and we also have to think about the efforts, no, when developing these kind of experiences, which is the most important thing for the operator to understand or to believe. In this case, for example, they opted to use this fire extinguisher to because they thought that understanding or believing that the weight of the fire extinguisher was important. They went for it. Then accessibility. We have to think also in the variety of the operators. No, we have very different cultures. We have also different ways of, people with different abilities and disabilities, and we have to be conscious about that, because going straight, for example, the example in the picture, no, we have different controllers. Some of them you have to use with one hand, some of them you have to use both hands, or even fingers. So we have to be also conscious about this, and think about the different options to go through this or each experience. No, we have from the easiest way, that is right-handed or left-handed modes, but we have to be also aware if they are going through this experience stand up or sit down, or if they have color blindness, and they have to, and if you have to take these things into account. No, so accessibility is another thing very important. Also the knowledge about the virtual reality and augmented reality culture, or how familiar are they with this kind of technology. So maybe some instructions or some easy demos for get them familiar with the controllers, or the experience itself. It will be very, very nice for them. Then the value, and it's one of very strategic thing, but it's very important to know which value does this experience give to the operators, apart for the company. No? Here we have another short example about it, that this person can control through virtual reality this excavator. They are one in the side from another, but this person could be in the States, and the other one could be in the machine could be in Europe, and operated due to the expertise of this person, and they could avoid like long trips or long efforts. No, and this machine also could operate in very risky environments without putting in risk the life of the operator. So this kind of value or valuable things, it's another thing that we should take into account when designing a virtual reality or augmented reality experience. No, what is the real value that we are giving also to these operators. Finally, we have these two, that is usefulness and desirability, and they are also related to the operator point of view. And it's what kind of problems or needs do we solve with these experiences, and how could we do this more engaging for the operators. No, we have there some kind of gamification. We could make it not funnier but more interesting for them, in order to make their work more motivated or less direct. And these are also two factors that we should take into account in this way. Okay, so regarding all of these aspects, apart from designing or giving some examples, or trying to improve this kind of experiences, another important thing is how to assess this, or how to measure it, or even how to know that our suggestions are improving this experience or not. No, so regarding this is a very interesting picture from an operator that shows clearly, what kind of things we should take into account to know if we are really making impact on the operators. No, and it's like, what do they think from a cognitive way, what do they do from the ergonomics, and also what do they feel in the emotion. No, do they feel tired, do they feel motivated, or is there something that could improve in this kind of experiences. For that, we have like different tools for doing this. Some qualitative ones and quantitative ones, depending on the amount of people we have to try our experiences, but also the subjective point and the objective point. No, sometimes we could measure it from their physiological data, but also we could ask them or make some surveys or interviews to understand uh, from a direct way, what do they think or how do they feel. No, so the best way should be mixing all of these experiences, but sometimes it's true that it's difficult to use all of them or very varied ones. So depending on the experience and the resources and the time and everything, we should use ones or another. You have different examples too. I mean, you have questionnaires related to very specific topics such as severe sickness due to the experience. If it is a very quick or very an experience that you move a lot, maybe you get motion sickness. So there are questionnaires to evaluate that. The achievement emotions questionnaire too. Then you have like the flow questionnaire or the immersion tendency questionnaire. So there are a lot of questionnaires. There is no an overall questionnaire, but if you want or if you are interested in measuring one specific thing, you have different questionnaires to use them. Then this kind of software where you could understand all of the movements of the person and see if the person is making bad movements or not so ergonomic ones. Then we could go through the eye tracking system where we could see where where is the attention of the user or the operator. Here in the picture you can see those green, yellow and red dots, which means that the attention of the user is focused on those points specifically. Those are the places where the user has looked for more time or more times. And this is another way of evaluation. No, what is the interest or why our user is focused on those points. No, we can understand also the experiences in that way. And also we could do some evaluations like understanding from behind or watching their way they interact with these experiences and try to receive feedback, direct feedback from that. And also video recordings and another type of tools that we could use. So to finish with and different or some things to take into account or some suggestions, I suggest you that apart from the efficiency of the process or the machine or whatever, we should understand also the operator. This is a very important thing, no? And to understand for what are we designing. So we should do research about the solution we need, especially for this in the manufacturing industry. If we are focusing in some production line, understand what do these operators need. If they need some maintenance traineeship, if they need some assistance through they or while they are working, if they have a very risky process, we have to think how to avoid the operator to be there, and then decide what type of technology do we want or do we need. If it is virtual reality, if it is augmented reality, and then start designing or thinking also in how to enhance the the things that could improve in our operator. No, how could we make it more useful, more usable, more accessible or desirable for them. No, and then try to iterate and use different assessment tools to improve these things for them. And finally also give or receive feedback from them and in a iterative way try to get better in this kind of solutions. It's true that sometimes we don't have enough time or we don't have enough resources, but sometimes not sorry not sometimes but almost always, if we take these things into account previously, we will reach to more acceptance of the technology, and the solution or the virtual solution could be even better, co-creating with the operators rather than doing it and then trying to solve these problems or try to convince the operator to use them or whatever. So this was all for my side. I don't know if you have any questions about this, but I am willing to answer any of them. Oh, there is one in the chat. No. Okay. So, yeah, Anna.
No, I was just wanted to tell that our participants can, of course, later on contact you and to ask further questions, and as well, you will receive also the follow up with the presentation. Hence, maybe right now you don't have specific questions, but afterwards, you can definitely have this possibility, and also. If you have something specific regarding the EARASHI open call and you have some questions, we will also have another webinar FAQ session on Friday. So you will be able to join and to ask directly everything what you are interested about, so to make sure your application is successful as possible. Yeah, then this is it from my part, and I see that we don't have questions. So yeah, I think we can wrap up.
Okay. So thank you very much for attending and see you on the next webinars.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Oscar.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.